Hey everybody, it's Brad here, aka Shambazzle at Shambazzle Games on Twitter. And as some of you know, I picked up a TV over the weekend and set it up to broadcast my digital tabletop maps onto our live playing table. Got a lot of really great response and a lot of really great support. Thank you to my amazing community for that. But I also got a lot of questions about how I'm going to manage Fog of War on a digital tabletop map that's being shown on a flat level TV. And honestly, this is the one thing that really took up most of my time on Saturday. So I thought it'd be a good idea to put together a quick video and just show you how I'm doing that on Photoshop. So before I dive in, essentially I'm using layers in Photoshop to create a fog of war and then reveal them by unhiding those layers. I'll show you exactly how it's done. Let's take a look. So first I'm going to start with my setup for Photoshop, and as you can see here, I've got the map that I created on stream on Saturday. Check me out every Saturday morning, shameless plug, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I've been working on photorealistic maps, so this is one that I wanted to use to test the TV with. Now, of course, once it was done and I could broadcast it to the second monitor, or the TV in this case, the next thing I wanted to understand is, how do I create a dynamic fog of war so that when my players are navigating the map, I can reveal parts of the map at a time? For an open air map like this, I tend to reveal the map in greater sections than it would in a dungeon. So we're going to cover that in a minute too. But let's start here because it's an easy sample. So first thing I'm going to do is I brought up my map in Photoshop. It's all good. It looks the way I wanted. It's sized correctly. I won't go into too much detail on that. But then I'm going to pull it over to my second monitor, or in this case, it's my TV. And whatever orientation you have, you're going to slide that from your main monitor, or the one you're running the map from, to the TV, which is the player-facing map, we'll say. So that looks like this. All right, so as we slide it in here, and we've got a nice working environment with our map. You can see it's in window mode. Now, first thing we want to do, obviously, is get it out of window mode. I don't have to expand this at all. All I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Photoshop, and now I'll show you the two screens side by side so you can see what we're doing in real time here. So now on the Photoshop window, which is the largest one right now, you can see I've got some other maps pulled up here, and these are ones that I can use to just kind of flip back and forth. But that's not the one we're interested in right now. I'm going to go to the window that I want to operate in, the window that has my map on it, click it, just make sure it's the active window. And I don't think that matters if you're on Mac or PC. But then I'm going to, in the Photoshop window, I'm going to go to View, I'm going to go to Screen Mode, and I'm going to select Full Screen Mode. This now expands the map to the size of your monitor. Now, of course, as you can see, we've got this black border. We don't really want that either. So we're just going to use Control and plus to size it for the monitor of the TV. And then you want to make sure you map this out to be about 1 inch per square. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. It's now at the point where it'll fill the television, so it'll look really good on the tabletop. Now, how do we create that fog of war? Well, with the map still as my active project, I'm going to create 6 pockets in this map that are covered by fog of war, or sorry, 8 rather. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to go north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, and northwest. So there's going to be 8 layers in total that we want. So very quickly in my Photoshop area, I'm going to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 layers. And the reason we want to do north, we want to use the compass rose for orientations. When you're sitting at the DM screen, there's a good chance that the TV that's on your table is going to be faced in landscape mode away from you. And that makes it really awkward to try and orient visually. But if we use north, south, east, and west, then they're always going to be at the same place on the TV at a glance. So in the Photoshop window, I'm going to just name these. We'll start northwest, and then we'll go north, and then we'll go northeast, we go east, we go southeast, we go south, we go southwest, and last but not least, yes, my friends, it is west. All right. Now, I've chosen just like a light gray as my fog of war. I think it's a little bit more engaging. And then we're going to select the layer that we're going to paint. Now make sure you've got 8 pockets to fill here. So let's start northwest. I'm going to go up here, just size your brush the way that you want it. And we're going to cover. So now we've got a completely fog of war covered map. I'm going to just switch out the screens really quickly. So now we've got our playable map. It's a fog of war ridden. And let's say as our characters enter from the northeast side of the map down this lowly country road and an otherwise bright and beautiful balmy midsummer day, they uncover the northwest part of the map. And all I'm doing in Photoshop is I'm hiding rather, that layer. Boom. So the fog of war clears. They're also going to get a little bit of a glimpse at the westmost side of the map, as I can see here. So I can just find west and unhide that. And then as maybe one of them courses off into the woods to check for ambushers, and he heads a little further north. Meanwhile, the ranger heads south to cut off the other flank and make sure that there aren't any sneaky goblins trying to get the jump on them. And she heads southwest into the woods and clears a little bit more. And then as the party makes their way further on the road, the south becomes clear. The rogue that went north now crests into the northeast side of the map, and he finds a pond that's undisturbed, natural, and seemingly fresh enough to drink. And as he courses down towards the east side of the map to meet the rest of the party, they're just making their way into the lower side of the road to clear the rest of the map. And that's how you can use layers, hiding and unhiding, to create a very simple fog of war. Once you have this done, you can switch between maps in the same Photoshop application. The only caveat is you have to keep Photoshop running on your computer. Now, there's another program called GIMP that works similarly to Photoshop, and I believe it has the same functionality as Photoshop does. But when I was doing this on my own, I just picked up the Photo Enthusiast license from Adobe, and that was like $9.99 a month Canadian. So I don't know, like $2 American if you're in the US. But that's it, folks. Have fun, get those digital maps going, and never let your secrets be known until the fog of war is ready to show them. Happy gaming, everyone. Be good to one another. And join me on Twitter at @ShamBasilGames, where we share this and great D&D content all day long. I'll see you there.